Hello guys and welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. Today, we're finally playing Carnevale.
Woo!
We're pretty excited, as is evident. So, we've played a couple of missions so far just to get a feel for the game, so we're actually skipping those because they kind of taught you, one was just movement, and other was a little bit. So this is the first one where you've actually got objectives and agendas, that's correct? Yeah. So, what are you using today, Vince?
I am using the Rashar, which are fish people. I've got two lesser Ugdru, which are fishy monstery things.
Indeed.
I don't know if you can see that on the
Yeah,
camera.
you can see it.
Two fishy monstery things. And I've got two happy meals, slaves, who are pretty much there just to feed my fish people.
Cool, and you have chose your agendas.
I have.
And we're not going to discuss them at this point, but we will catch them at some point so that the people know what you're trying to get as yours. And Sparks, you're using?
I'm using a guild. All the unionized people and Thieves Guild. So I have a gondolier.
Yep.
Some gondola action. And 3 citizens, which are just random people from Venice.
They just turned up.
And there's 2 more down here.
Cool. So everything we're using today is from the starter set, down from the dice, cards that actually come with it, which is good, because otherwise you have to print them off if there's anything else. Start gangs, the only things that aren't are the bases, but they're official TT combat bases anyway. And you've also picked your 3 agendas, haven't you?
Yep. And even the board and the buildings come from the starter set as well.
They're really good compared to sort of the other cardboard buildings you get with certain other games. They just pop together really nicely and they break straight back down again. Yeah. So we've already done roll for deployment.
Yep.
So you roll to see who picks sides. Whoever wins also sets up all their models, which was yourself, Vince.
Yep,
and then Spark set up all his things.
Yep.
And then, so the next course of action would be going straight towards initiative, is that right? Cool.
Nope.
So that's a 1. And
Nope.
that's a 4.
Woo!
So initiative, so with this, is it whoever goes highest gets the initiative, or do they pick?
Yes.
So we're going to say has the initiative.
Yeah.
Because we're still working through and learning bits. So this mission itself, I will let people know what it is. It's called Take the Stone, and as you'll see, there's a big shiny coin in the middle, which of course is going to attract both of you, because Hobo and Vince is like a magpie, essentially. So whoever has that at the end of the game gains 2 victory points. It does say it's a mobile objective, which means you can pick it up.
And try to run away with it.
And try and run away with it, indeed. And then on top of that, each agenda, if you score it, gets you 1 victory point. So there is a maximum of 5 victory points on display. You don't seem to get any for killing people, so don't bother killing anybody. Actually, with your fish people, there's a good chance there won't be anybody killing you because of your ridiculously large amount of
my
guns.
slaves.
Well, you're going to eat them.
Happy meals.
I would assume. So we're going to get straight down to it. So it's a you go, they go, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I go, you go. So I will start with grabby fish person who's in the water.
Yep. So I will just slide this building out of the way for the purposes of people seeing that.
He's going to take a dive action.
Nice.
So a dive action means that he gets extra protection because he's deep in the water.
Yep.
And because he's a fish monster with water creature special rule, when he emerges next turn, he essentially gets an 8-inch teleport.
And that costs both your action points,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Normally, you would only get a 4-inch teleport per token you get. But he gets 8 inches per token.
So it's your dexterity, which is how many?
My dexterity is 4.
4, and you need to get 7 or more. So with that, you got... Nothing.
So he fails to dive. He's just too busy having a bit of a splash about.
And the white dice is 5.
Yeah, and the white dice is not a 1 and it's not a 10, so nothing special happens.
Cool.
He just splashes in the water a bit, playing with his rubber scully.
Sounds good to me, and then that would go straight across to your first model,
Does that mean I'm going to have to paint his skull bright yellow?
You're going to have to.
So it's like a rubber duck.
Rubber duck.
So the gondolier is going to go. No, it's not. No, it's not.
He has
This
changed
citizen-
his mind.
This citizen is going to go. And she's going to attempt to row the gondola.
Nice.
So
Also completely fail. So again, that's a dexterity roll. Yep. With everything except attacks, you need to get 7s or more.
Yeah.
she's going to try again because that's only one thing.
Yep. So we got
one.
one success.
So a row action is successful. Row action is 2 inches plus 1 for every ace. So
Perfect.
I get to move my gondola 3 inches.
And can it? And when it
Very
turns,
effective.
is that part of it?
I don't think so. But there you go. It's 3 inches. It's 3 inches further forward.
That works for us. So that would move on to your next model. Now, this is odd for you because your fish people are on land.
Yep. So I'm going to take a move action.
Yep.
With my fish person.
And now he moves less when he's on land.
He
doesn't
does. He only moves 3 on land.
Cool.
But he is going to move an inch back and then fall in the water.
Splash.
And then he has 3 inches of movement left. So he's going to swim along here.
Cool.
He's then going to take another swim action. And because he's a fast swimmer and he starts this move action in the water...
Why does he have 3 inches of movement left on the first action?
Sorry, he only has 2. You're right. I lie. I do apologise.
See that? Vince trying to con the internet.
Because he's a fast swimmer, he gains an additional 2 inches, so he can swim up to 5. So he's going to swim along there.
Normally you lose 2 inches of movement in water. They're also water creatures, so they ignore that. And then they're fast swimmers as well, so they get extra movement on top of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is why he has a total of 5.
Perfect. So normally, is it 4 inches for a model? Or for a standard human?
Standard human seems to be 4, so 2 inches in water unless they're fast swimmers.
Cool.
They're fish people, so they're water creatures as well, so they just move faster in the water.
Alright, so that would move across to your next. Now, your gondola can move again with the gondolier, can't it? Yeah. So
Anybody
it's-
that's on it
yeah.
can attempt the point. First I'm going to activate this woman back here, and she's going to run 4 out, and she's going to run forward to the objective.
Cool. So you need a point of actions to pick up the objective.
Yep. So my slave, Happy Meal number 1, with the boy toy, will move 4.
Yep.
And then he can't actually claim an objective because he's mindless. So the best he can hope for is running in and punching her. So he's going to run in and try and punch her.
Right. So what we're going to do is if anybody at any point pulls their objective, or their agenda, sorry, what we'll do is we'll announce what that agenda was, because we wrote them down beforehand, and we'll explain how that's scored. So remember what agendas you've got, people.
Yep.
So that's, you moved 1, you move up as a charge, and you get to attack.
Yep.
As part of that action. Yeah.
So he is going to try and punch her.
So your attack is
2.
2.
So-
Is he armed or unarmed?
It is unarmed.
Right. So we'll
So
explain
my
how that's...
dexterity is 4, so the target number for an attack against her is 4.
So I roll 2 dice and I do not get 4. I get 4 in total, but that doesn't.
Yes, 4 in total.
Because Kev touched the dice.
I did well and truly fondle every dice from that starter set just to make sure he was on an even keel.
I think he might even have tucked them into his underpants for a short period of time.
You know I don't wear any.
True.
So he is going to do the same. He's going to move 4 and then charge 4.
At this point, my slave is going to cry.
I have an attack of 3 and I'm not unarmed. So
But you are all... Oh no, because unionised this.
If-
Ignore me.
yeah.
Just ignore me.
yeah, my union only kicks in if I'm in contact with 2 other friends ganging up on you. So
My defence... Sorry, it's dexterity, isn't it?
Yeah, it's your dexterity.
Dexterity is 3.
So you hit with 2.
I hit with 2.
Yes.
So you need to make a protection roll. What is your protection value?
2.
So 2 dice. You need 7s.
So you
That is
take
not 7.
2 damage.
I do. Bloop. And I'm counting down this time because I'm not a monster like Alan.
So,
Or last game.
indeed.
Last game.
So you actually, some of your models get willpower, don't they, which you can use to affect things.
Which I forgot to do.
That's absolutely fine. But your slaves don't,
No.
because they're absolute chaff.
Because they don't have any willpower.
Yeah, because they have no willpower, it makes sense. So you get 3 on each of your fish people.
Yes.
And is yours...
3 on everybody except the gondolier, who has 2.
Cool.
So you pick and... No, it's me now, isn't it?
It is you.
You have 1 slave left.
Yes. Who will go round here to the end of the bridge?
Nice. Very simple movement. I like it. And now you
Your
have...
gondolier.
The gondolier is going to go, and he is going to try and punt the boat.
Cool.
He's also dexterity 4, but as a sculler, he gets to re-roll any fails.
So that was...
He gets to re-roll that one. So 4 successes, so I get to move 2 inches, plus 1 for every success. I get to move 6 inches with this gondolier.
And now, though there is a bridge there, gondolas can go under it.
He's going to move up to there, and then he's going to use his move of 4, and he is going to charge into combat with this slave here. Because he has a 2-inch reach on his pole. And he's going to whack him across the head from behind.
So now you do get a bonus.
I would with the citizens, he is not union.
Perfect. Cool.
So he only gets 3, but he is going to spend a point of willpower to gain an extra dice.
So one of the ways that you can use your willpower is extra dice.
And I need 3s, right?
Yeah.
So that's 4 hits, and his spear does plus 1 damage. So that's 5 points of damage, and it's -1 to your protection.
Okay, I'll re-roll that. Good. Still failed. So 5
5
points of damage.
Ouch. So that's the end of turn 1.
Yep.
Awesome. So did anybody score any agendas during that turn?
Nope.
Nope. Cool. So what we'll do is before we roll off for initiative, we'll take a short break. People can lubricate, drink-wise, of course. And then we'll come back for round 2. Now this mission...
I'll just put this bottle of lubricant away then.
Indeed.
You
So,
might need it in a minute, the way this gondolier's been rolling.
so there's 5 rounds, so we'll be back. So we rolled for initiative, and Vince won. He got a 10, and Sparks got a 2. So my maths isn't very good, but 10 beats 2.
Yes, it does.
Because there's more numbers in the 10.
So, grabby fish person is going to charge.
Mm-hmm.
So to charge someone on the gondola, you just have to be in base contact with the gondola. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or 1 inch away if you've got a reachable weapon. So,
Within the reach of your weapon.
yeah, within the reach of that weapon.
So I am going to basically claw at the nice lady on the boat.
Nice. Are
I
you...
say nice lady.
So how many dice do you get as standard on your attack?
5 normally.
Are you using any willpower?
Yes.
Did you
3.
spend...
You can only use 2.
He can only use 2.
Then I will spend 2.
So you get 7 dice in total.
Yes.
Is that right?
Can I have another dice, please, Sparks?
Nope.
For the purposes of this game.
Nope.
Okay.
You only have the same one then.
Right, so 7 dice. Needing
4s.
4s.
Right. So that's a lot of 4s.
That is
All the 4s.
all of them. 7.
So your protection is
4.
so it's 4.
And -1 because of my big raking claws.
That's fine. I'm going to spend 2 willpower to go up to 5 dice.
Yep. And you're looking for 7s, is that right?
2, so I take 6 wounds? 5 wounds.
5 wounds.
So I'm down to 6.
And then she falls off into the water. Into the water.
Right. We're going to check up on that one to see whether you fall directly in the water or you would just fall the nearest side. We'll be back momentarily once we check the tomes.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
So if you fall off your gondola, it's the closest route into the water, which actually, obviously for her, it's not very good. But in real life, it would probably hurt less falling into the side,
So,
into the water.
I'm then going to attempt to drown her.
Right. So now this is a different type of attack.
It is.
So with this, you would roll your attack against your attack. Is that correct?
Needing
It's an
7s.
opposed attack roll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so every 7 that Sparks gets cancels out one of your
Yeah,
7s.
I'm going to
is that
spend
right?
a point of will, which is his last will.
So am I. 1.
1, 2, critical.
So, Sparks is now checking the table. Now, this game comes with a lot of tables, but it's actually really, really simple to work out once you get past the rule book itself.
Because of Vince's dirty broken dice, the critical success means I lose 4 life points and 1 for every ace.
Ouch.
So he loses 8. And she loses 8. And I am going to claim a watery grave.
Kill an enemy model with a drown action. I did remember you had that one. So you get the first victory point of the game.
Woohoo!
That doesn't mean that it's anything more scoring than any of the others. It just means you get bragging rights.
Yeah. So that will be my victory point.
And it's a green die. Sparks, how do you retaliate?
I mean, he's probably going to gank my slave.
The gondolier is going to charge this slave.
Ooh, sexy.
Happy meal number 2 with the girl toy.
He's going to spend his point of willpower.
Yep.
Right next to Dennis. And he's going to do
Lot. 4?
5.
Oh,
because
5.
of his +1 damage.
Because of his +1 damage.
And it's -1, isn't it?
Yeah.
On protection. I block one of them, so I take 4.
Okay. And then he's going to hit again for 5.
She takes 5 wounds and dies.
Ah.
I am going to claim no mercy. Deal 8 points of damage in 1 activation.
Ouch. And anybody who just heard Sparks say the name of the other one, don't look that up yet. It'll come up
I haven't
later.
said the full name of it yet.
Oh, that's okay.
I didn't
then.
hear him saying it.
That's okay.
Genuinely didn't.
So, you've got 1 victory point. You've got 1 victory point.
We've all got a victory point.
You've all got a victory point. Ah, bless Oprah. So now it's you, good sir.
It is.
You've got another fish. You've got a slave. You got a fish, slave, fish. I do have a curiosity that one of you may be able to answer. Now
I can't see properly from that range.
he can't claim the victory. He can't score victory points.
He can't score victory points from objectives.
Can he pick them up still, or can he interact with them even though mindless? So could he pick it
What
up
does
to
mindless rule say?
stop?
This character may interact with objectives,
Yep.
but is ignored when scoring victory points for
So
all
he can
them.
carry. But
So
they
he
can't.
can pick them up just to basically stop Sparks from having it. That's what I was curious about.
Can I do it while I'm engaged?
I'm not sure.
We will check the tomes. We've checked out more
But
thoroughly.
because I didn't claim it. It's still on the board. That was my bad.
Cool.
But no, you can't claim that yet because you're in base contact with enemies.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
So it's me, isn't it?
Yeah, we're back recording now.
So move 5, and then try to charge.
Where you would have to attempt to climb out.
Yeah.
And then once you're out, you would have 3 inches. Can you
Yes.
get into 3
So the
inches?
only way would be if he got a lot of successes on his climb. Doesn't that give you some extra movement?
3 inches is just
Let
in.
me just.
Into base contact.
I think so. No, it isn't.
Nope. So you'd be able to move out but not charge.
Um.
You would also become engaged. Because he has a
Yes, I don't think I will do that. Go back to here.
Yeah.
It's under move.
Yeah.
Move action instead. Climb test.
Yep. Swim to here. Climb out. Dexterity of 4.
Yeah, you'd have to get criticals, essentially.
So I get 2 successes.
2 successes, so you can move up to your remaining move. If you'd got a critical, it would have added 2 to the move value for this action, which would have got you in.
So climb up.
Fish are cool.
Go down. Yeah, I'll go there.
He moves so slowly because of his little fish legs. Right, so both fish people have gone. Slave hasn't, and you still have both of your.
Can someone independent with a better view than me check to see how far that gondolier is away from that slave?
Gondolier from slave, this fellow.
Yeah.
That would be 2 inches just from base to base.
So he is within 2.
So he's within 2.
Right, so he is engaged, and so my union guy will gain union because he's backed up by 2 different people.
Yes. Oh, he has a little doofer.
Just out.
Ah,
So
scandal.
one then.
Like, has not.
Yeah, I was going to say, through the template, it did look it.
How many wounds does that guy have left?
4.
He will use 1 will point to gain an extra die. So he'll have 4 with his improvised weapon. And he will do 3 wounds.
He did do 3 wounds. And you did no defense rises. So he is hanging on.
We will
Barely.
use another will point to do the same. 3 again. Because your dex.
3.
Nothing.
So Happy Meal number 2 is dead.
Ah, no more eating for you.
No eating at all.
I
for
have
me.
still not seen.
And he will
You
claim that
eat
objective
anything.
because now he has ended his turn. Not in base contact with an enemy.
Yes.
In
So
base contact with the objective.
So
with
He
regards,
will claim the objective.
yeah. So with objectives, you don't have to pay an action point to pick them up. You just have to end in base contact with it with no people there. Cool. So that's all your people now, isn't it? And you still have one person. Is that right?
Yep.
I'm just looking for will points to see how many I can actually spend in a turn or whether it's each action.
So you can do 2 per action, but you can use as many as you want in a turn, or as many as you have, essentially.
So she's going to move to there, and then she's going to charge and spend 2 will points for 2 extra dice.
She's a brave lady.
Dexterity of
4.
2.
2.
I will spend a will point.
Which puts you down to 2. And so you're looking for 7s.
1, 2.
Safe.
So nothing. Cool.
Yep. End of the turn.
Yep.
End of the turn. We'll be back momentarily. So Vince rolled a 9. Sparks rolled a 10. So you have initiative. At the moment, the victory points stand at still 1 each because nobody scored any extra agendas. Is that correct?
No.
Cool. And obviously that it doesn't score until the end of the game.
So I'll be going first. My female citizen will be going.
And
No, she won't. That's a stupid idea.
It's a stupid idea.
This guy with the objective is going to run like hell. So you can't catch him.
And for the people watching at home, it's there.
Because I move an extra inch over you.
Eat the woman.
Oh, do I eat the woman or do I climb out and go for the gondolier to tie him up?
Ooh.
I can try and climb out of the water onto the bridge, which I do.
Which you do.
So 1.
And then it can go an extra 2 inches at that stage, is it?
And then charge. Spend 2 to make a 7 dice attack against you. Can I borrow a dice, please?
No. Hit your own. Those are already filthy dirty broken.
Needing 4s?
Yep.
That's
Oh, just a 5.
just the 5. 1, 2,
2.
2.
3 points of damage.
Did you remember to take 1 dice away for penetration?
You didn't tell us. Oh.
So 4 wounds.
That's not too bad.
And I also claim lead from the front. Use all will points on 2 characters.
Yeah, so you're now at 2 victory points. You're still at 1. Well, of
That's
course.
not fair.
What? How's that not fair?
It's not fair.
Why is it not fair?
I'll tell you in a second. The woman's gone. She's going to use her will point to make a 4 dice attack against your other fish guy. And hit 3 times.
3. Yep.
So 5 protection. Save 1, so take 2.
And then she is going to make a 3 dice attack against him with her second action.
Yep.
For none.
Nothing.
And I am going to declare the gods guide us. Use all will point on 3 characters.
So there you have it. So we've each got 1 agenda left. I don't even know what these are, which is usually what it's like when I'm playing anyway.
Even when it's your agendas?
Even it's my own agendas, yeah. So you've each scored 2. Realistically, there's no way you're catching him to get them. Oh no, this is turn 3, isn't it? So you do have 2 turns. So if you eat things quick enough.
Yep. So attacking her.
Yep.
5 dice.
He's not been.
Yeah. Because it was climbing out the water, make fish face. Ooh,
So 3.
oh, what's your...
And -1 for your...
Yeah, -2, so...
Because the 5 would have been 1 as well, wasn't it? Because it's not...
Oh, yeah, shit.
Dex.
Sorry.
So it's 4.
So
it's-
Second attack.
Do it again.
Wrong one.
All by 1.
4.
So 4.
So...
3. Yeah, 3.
It's down to 5 wounds.
Yep.
So, Gondolier guy, has he been yet?
He's not been yet.
Right.
I was going to say.
So he's going to make an attack then. 4 wounds, because he gets +1.
Yep.
-1 ear penetration.
So 4 dice.
Save
Save 1.
1.
So 3, and that is Grabby Skull, who is over here.
Yeah, because that was the other one who took the damage from her. Second
Okay.
attack. 3 is that?
4 again.
Oh, 4 because of the... Yeah.
And that's
Ooh.
a full 4.
Awesome.
So that's the end of round 3.
Yep.
I think at this stage we're probably just as easy diving straight into round 4.
I've got a rule question. So
Oh, yep.
I have initiative. We'll check the rules.
Yeah.
So the rule we were just checking was disengage,
Yeah.
which there's a chart for. So I'm happy
There's a
enough
chart
with
for
that.
most things.
There's a chart for most things. So Sparks goes first, though. Is that correct?
Yes, because he rolled a 4 and I only rolled a 3.
So Gondolier first. He's going to smack upside of his
Yep.
head.
Fish head. 3.
Oh, critical.
3 and a crit.
So 4 damage and you lose 1 life point, which you can't protect against.
So you're at -1 because of the protection.
Critical.
Also a critical.
So that counts as 1 success plus however many successes you get.
1.
So you reduce it by 2, so you take 2 wounds on top of that 1 life point.
So 3 left. Second attack.
Yep. Is 3 hits,
3
so
hits.
4 damage.
So,
Just enough to kill him.
oh, yes, so.
Bloody Frenzy! Kill 3 characters with henchmen.
So you now have 3 victory points, whereas you are on 2 victory
Yep.
points, good sir.
So disengage.
Yes. So you
Disengage.
disengaged. It
Move
was-
3 and fall into the water.
Yep.
Climb out.
It's an opposed dexterity roll,
Oh,
so I
sorry.
need to roll initiative for dex as well.
In that case, it's... Yeah, I've got 2.
1, so you do get away.
Yeah.
And then climb out the water.
Yep.
Nope, fall back into the water.
Ah, splash.
So on a fail on climbing,
So on a fail, stay in place, discard any remaining move.
so it's not a fall.
No.
Okay, no problem.
Well, it would be, but then you would fall into water, which is 0.
So it is a fall, or isn't it?
When you fall into water, it doesn't do any damage to you.
No, but it's
You were climbing from the baseline, so it's not a fall. You
Right.
just don't climb.
okay.
But if you were
That's an
there and
important
then you
distinction
fell,
I need.
Right.
your agenda to fall.
Into the water 3 times, yeah.
Ah,
So I need to climb out and then fall back in.
nice. I like that.
Your remaining 2 characters.
Charge for 4.
How does combat on different levels work? Because I'm in the water.
We shall check the total. So you can attack as normal because
It's assumed that the canals are 1 inch
yeah,
lower than the base cobbles, so
Which
a
is-
count is being in base contact.
yeah, of
Same as
course.
if you find over a 1 inch wall, you assume to be in base
Yeah.
contact, but you both in contact with it. So 3 dice attack. 2 successes.
Two, yeah.
2 blocks.
You did.
And second one. 2 successes.
2 successes again. Yeah. 1 block.
2
Oh,
blocks.
2 blocks. Yeah. So this is one thing I did want to actually point out about the dice. We didn't cover it in the unboxing because we didn't really know what the rules were or anything. But the dice are actually marked so that all successes on most rolls are in a different colour.
So normally a standard success, standard ace is a 7+.
7.
So all the 7s and higher are marked red.
So straight away you can see even without having to work out what they are. The only difference then is if it's the Carnevale symbol for a critical or
which is red anyway.
yeah, or a physical attack.
Which you might need less.
I know it's a stupid little thing, but I think it's pretty cool, to be honest.
do as
Like,
well.
no one's ever really done that on a game,
That was
other
nice.
than like Blood Bowl and stuff, where this different symbols mean different things.
So
Yeah.
for a standardised dice with standardised numbers for basic successes.
Yeah.
Nobody ever thinks doing that.
Nah, and it's a pretty genius idea. But anyway, let's get our kill on. Oh, you've still got that one. Where's the hiding model?
With the objective.
Oh, was that one move, or was that 2 moves to get there? I can't remember.
2.
Oh,
It's one to get there and a second one to attack.
cool.
So you made essentially charged and did
Yeah.
in addition to the free charge.
Right,
That's what I thought,
you
yeah.
Not that. Gondolier, he's going to move out.
Gondolier's beam.
Gondolier killed the other one.
Is that the same turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Never run this ship
No.
again.
No,
The only
there's
thing
just
you've got left
sneaky
is
left to
sneaky.
move.
He's just going to stay there. He's not
It's just
going
going to stay there.
Now
we're
it's
gonna go
initiative.
straight to 10-5.
7.
5.
Oh, you have to try and kill that and get in and out of the war.
And he's going to charge 2. He's got 2 injury, so it doesn't really matter where he is.
Got a 2-incher.
He'll make a 3 dice attack.
He did make a 3-dice
And
attack.
hit twice, so 3 damage with his pole.
Blocked it with
Minus
1.
1 on the block.
Yeah,
so.
that-
Yay.
And
Was that 3 damage you did?
4 damage. 3
3
damage
damage.
total.
Yeah, 3 damage total because you blocked 1.
No, 3 damage total. I hit twice, plus 1 damage.
Oh, right.
So if
So
you
it
block
was
one,
only
you only
2
take
for you.
And that was his 2 actions. 1 to move around, 1 to charge.
What you gonna do, fish?
Climb up on the side, which I succeed at.
He would have to disengage because of his 2 inch reach.
Still within 2 inches. And then
It's a fair point, actually. It is.
move again whilst in combat and fall into the water to score my 3rd victory point.
Is it? Because you jumped in 1, you came out and jumped in, that's 2.
I did it with him earlier as well.
Did you?
First turn.
Oh,
he
yeah,
did
first
it.
turn. Yeah, he started up on the
Okay.
thing, didn't he?
So that gets me my 3rd victory
So
point.
you've got 3. You've got 3.
But at the end of the game,
Essentially, yeah, we know you've won by 2, but that doesn't mean we can stop the
She's
clock.
going to punch him in the face
There she is.
for 2.
Block
1. Yeah.
And she's going to do it again for 2.
And blocked
block
1. Oh,
3.
blocked 3 because of the critical.
heal a wound. No, I don't, unfortunately.
And then just, yeah.
Hide a bit further.
So that's the end
End of
of
the game.
round 5.
Yep.
So,
Spark scores 5. I have 3. Well done.
yeah, obviously before we talk a little bit about the game, one thing that we did notice actually from the couple of little games we played is that it's far more nuanced than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It felt like it was going to be a very simplistic game with lots of really confusing charts. And it's actually a very nuanced game with very, very simple charts.
Yeah.
But obviously, this is your 3rd game now, essentially, isn't it? But the first one that we really knew what we were doing right the way through. So, what's your thoughts?
I really like it.
Wow.
Obviously, we've not got into the more nuanced stuff like magic,
and things
Just
like
yet.
that.
And
which
raised
I'm
paths
going to
and
have to
cover.
get used to.
The next mission itself is called Reinforcements. I'm quite interested in checking that one out next, to be honest, to see what that actually does. Because, like I said, we're sort of working through these in order. We haven't already played them once, except the couple that we skipped.
Get to use me giant fish monster.
So he gets to use his
I got
giant
my
fish.
fisherman to kill the giant fish monster.
So that's going to be the next video we film, essentially, and next game we play. So that's going to be interesting. One thing I do like about the little starting one, other than the first mission, which is pretty much redundant.
Teach you how to move.
Yeah,
which
teach
only really
you how
matters
to
if
move.
you've never played a war game before,
Ever.
and therefore have to learn how moving in water works.
I don't think should be your first war game either. It's a good game, but I don't think it should be your first war game. Go and maybe have a demo game of 40k or something first in your local games workshop.
I don't know the way 40k is getting right now. This is easier.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fair point, actually. The bloat is real. But no, yeah, like it plays really, really smooth. Other than there where we started to add a few little nuances, like getting knocked out the gondola, do you land in the water or do you fall directly behind you because of physics? which would make the most
Well, I mean,
sense.
to be fair, I'm probably pulling on the side of the
I
gondola
assume,
to
yeah,
crawl
you're
out.
going, get out. And then little things like that where you were still engaged, but you could step out and step up and stuff. And just little bits like that, but
it's also got the thing with the gondola as well, where it says move the shortest distance to fall into the water. If it was the shortest distance to fall, if you had like two guys here,
yeah,
the only place I could fall for the shortest distance would be on land. But the way the word is written, I would have to fall over your head.
ah, yeah, because of base sizes.
Yeah.
And if it gets to a point where you've got it like that, where the base size won't fit, and then you've got your big 50mm base there, and something over here, it gets to a complicated point where you could be falling from here over to here, depending on how base size is knocked up, because you have to fall in the water.
This is true, and I suppose we're going to encounter that.
But I suppose as well, the whole idea of attacking someone on a gondola is to get them into the water,
Yeah,
so that you can then drown them.
True, but then it comes up with a funny idea. It's like I say, of depending on base size and how much
you
you're
can
going about
teleport
the
half a
gondola,
mile away
you
from
could
where
be
you're
crowd serving over fish people.
Yeah,
You get that in all games. Like, look no further than the Malifaux shooting into combat and anything within 2 inches of that engagement,
No,
where
no,
you
no.
quite often where you could end up with the person shooting hitting himself
yeah.
because of engagement
I
ranges.
bleached that rule from my mind.
It was hilarious when someone first encountered that with a sniper and a focused shot and shot himself in the middle of a tournament.
That pleases me. It pleases me.
And was like, I've just done what? You just hit yourself. And proceeded to kill himself.
Nice.
Suicide with clockwork rifle.
So in terms of this, I think what we're going to do is we're going to work through each of the other missions in the starter set.
Yeah.
Using just the models it tells you to use, which is starters. But you guys are actually looking at different factions now, aren't you?
I like all of the models is the problem.
I like most of the models.
Well, not all, but
I had to drop out of the Kickstarter because I didn't think there was anybody to play with.
Yeah.
But when I was in the Kickstarter, I was in for the Doctors, so I'm tempted by Doctors, plus a few other purchases and whatnot. I've already got 150 points worth of guild anyway, because I bought some extras.
Yeah, and I know Alan wants the clergy for the
obvious
Vatican.
reasons.
For obvious reasons, there's all the boys in there. And which ones was it you were looking at? Or was it still Richard, but different models?
Well, I can't decide whether to stick with me fish people.
Yeah.
I mean, the Church of Dagon is really nice. That would be my second option.
I don't like the voice of Dagon model.
He's got like a fish person face and a giant conch that would wrap around his neck. It looks awesome.
I'm not a big fan. I also do quite like the patrician stuff.
Patrician Guard are really nice.
Not just the guard. I like because the big poncy dresses.
And when you finally get around to releasing the syphilitic noble, I mean, there's someone to match you, right?
Nah, I see what he did there.
So witty, Hobo.
Yeah. I know with Nate, he likes certain models from each of the different factions, but I don't think there's anything that's jumped out at him at the moment.
He doesn't like. Oddly, he doesn't like the models with the big, like frilly
The
dresses.
stuff that's actually very era specific.
Yeah.
Whereas vampires and stuff, not really era specific, but big cake dresses, pretty much of the time.
Yeah.
And Nate's very historical in nature, so you'd think that would appeal to him, but no.
I mean, I don't think it's the fact that it's historical that it doesn't appeal to him. I think he likes the fact that it's historical, but it doesn't just like the look of those
Yeah,
dresses.
he doesn't like that, the specific look of those models. And I don't, has Liam even really gandered
We
at
made him
much?
look through stuff.
Yeah.
You mentioned that some of the Vatican stuff looked nice.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, he
Again,
likes some of the
that's
Vatican
sort of
stuff.
similar to Alan, I guess.
Yes, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't have two people using the same faction.
Well, that's it, yeah, because obviously we have got a
because,
full other
you know,
set of
It's not like the Catholic Church has ever had kind of factions within itself, is it?
yeah. But yeah, we do have obviously more
Every little
guilds.
release
more
that they do
for
as
sure.
well, though, they for the same factions, but they're different things. So, like the guild at the moment, they've got the start set here, and then they've got the Pulcinella one,
Yeah.
which is either you've got the basic citizens or
crazy lunatics riding emus.
The Apocalypse Cult.
Yeah.
And the one they haven't released yet.
Riding emus.
That was in the Kickstarter. Was effectively the Thieves Guild. So that's like 3 separate factions within the faction.
And the Church of Dagon work very differently to the Rashar models you've got at the minute, don't they?
Yeah, they rely more on being generically good rather than having the big nasty beasties and
the food
lunchboxes.
Yeah.
Which are pretty crap, really, the lunchboxes.
They've got the uses.
Well, that's it. I don't think in these smaller games that you'll make the use of them, because once you start eating them, you're eating away like a large chunk of your force, as opposed to just the chaff you've taken because you've got the extra points.
I believe your super wizard's also a monster.
I shall have a go.
Indeed.
And if he's got the monster keyword, he can eat them as well. So your ridiculously overpowered wizard character.
Nope, he is not a monster.
Is he not?
No.
That must be the one then.
He is leader of Rashar, and then discipline 3 of the different magics.
Nice.
Okay. At least your big giant fish beast can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think.
But also has 20 wounds, so.
I've got 2 fishermen, so.
So I think what we'll do is we'll end this one here, so that we can, get set up to play some more, because we're in the zone at the minute. And obviously, the quicker we get through this book, the quicker I can start using my Strigoi.
Yeah, boy.
Your boy, Strigoi. Yeah, that's going to catch on. I swear.
We're going to make it a thing.
Well,
me and you will.
We made a threatometer a thing. We get people asking where the threatometer is. More games need a threatometer.
I mean, pretty much any game where Alan's in the room, the threatometer is pretty high.
Yeah, it is. That's why I've started making higher up games tables so I don't have to bend. Yeah, that was an embarrassing Christmas. But anyway, here you go.
Also, Alan's happiest Christmas.
Yes, it was actually. Yeah, he said he didn't need a present that year. It actually worked out financially okay for me. But no, we'll leave it there. So as always, obviously, give this video a like. Leave a comment. If you've just got into Carnevale, let me know your experiences. Any rules that we mucked up, we probably have because we're still learning. Let us know down below because, then we can rant about the fact that you told us something we asked you to tell us, because that's what we're all about. And then the usual, subscribe, share to your friends, send your family the video so they can watch it themselves. What I'll do now is I'll get the guys to say goodbye to you, and then I get to mess around with tiles. So say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Pray dice gods, hope to smile upon you, etc. Bye.